Good morning, students. Good afternoon. Uh, we have to study on the we are on the at the revision work. So the only two chapters is coming in your will be the asked this Mahabharata and the religious thinkers like Mahavira and Mahavira and Gautam and the Sanchiya scriptures structures. This will be the asked. Understand? These two chapter only is the going to be the asked. Today, as a revision work we are doing now, or the chain of I was studying. I was just teaching now about the Sultanate period, Sultanate dynastical orders. I was teaching. So then Muhammad bin Tughlaq, understand, or the Firoz Tughlaq. Till the we have Tughlaq dynasty study. We have seen that the dynastical slave dynasty and Muhammad bin Qasim, Muhammad Ghaznavi, Muhammad Gori. Then after the dynasty, dynastical order, we have seen the slave dynasty in the Kutubuddin Aibak, Al-Tutmas, then after Razia, okay, Razia, and after the after Behram Shah, or then after the others were not so important, Balban, then after Kai Khusro or Kaimurs last step, and then after the Jalaluddin Khilji established the Khilji dynasty, or then after that the Alauddin Khilji, or during his what the incidents happened during his time I have focused already, or then after the Khilji dynasty, after the Alauddin Mubarak Shah Khalji, and then after now Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq, who founded the Tughlaq dynasty, or after that the Muhammad bin Tughlaq I have taught, or after the Firoz Tughlaq I taught, and after that the Tamur invasion of India, that I have to be the focus a little bit, and then after we shall go ahead for the after the Hijr dynasty as or Sayyid dynasty. Sayyid dynasty we shall study, or after that the Lodi dynasty, and then after the advent of the Babar in India, so then Mughal order we shall study. Understand? So now this chain of the studies. So I have to the break for the taking the revision for the 3 days. 3 days as a revisional work. The two chapters. So I shall. I have taught a lot, not to be the say much, but a very shallow glance we shall see. Understands? We shall give a shallow glance, through a shallow glance. First of all, the like that critical editions of the Mahabharata. Now we shall see the critical Mahabharata as a critical editions. So we know very well that the two great epics are in India. Indian epics are the Mahabharata and the Ramayana. So the Mahabharata, why the Mahabharata has been the focus? Because the uh, since the Vedic period, or a later Vedic period, then after the Sutras period, after the Brahmanas, or after the Upanishadic period, or a Sutras period, or so the society was in a process of the liquidation. Whatever so the final consolidation of the social system and social rules and social tradition and the customs now was finalized, or the finally consolidated by the Mahabharata period. Those social system, which were in the process of, or in the form of the liquidity, understand? They were those social system and the social traditions now of that got to form the liquidity. Sorry, consolidation. So that is why, and the most of the social system or the social traditions still we find, and still in the existence, resembles to the Mahabharata period. Understand? That is why this Mahabharata period has been the focus much focus has been the given. So we shall have to understand, and we shall have to be the peep into the ancient society or the Persian society through the mirror of the Mahabharata, through the mirror of Mahabharata text. We shall peep through that. Through the Mahabharata, we shall understand and try to understand the social system which was prevalent or the which was existing in the society and social process we shall understand the way, my dear students, the first the critical editions of the Mahabharata we know very well. One of the Sanskriticists, one of the scholar, now a scholar Sanskriticist, one of the VSA Suktankar, VSA Sukhthankar. Understand? He in the 1919, now he taken on a very vast and a broader project. He began for the study of a very critical study of the Mahabharata, a broader study of the Mahabharata, a very overhauling of this scripture. Now, every pros and cons, understand, was studied, analyzed, or in a very critical views were now observed. They now saw the Mahabharata with a critical angle, and the critical or analytical critical observed the Mahabharata and examined the Mahabharata writings, written terms, language, the person who wrote this. Understand why wrote, to for whom wrote. Understand these all things were analyzed well and examined, and then after it was produced. Understand as a name the critical editions of the Mahabharata. So see, VSA Sukhankar now he now comprised a team in 1919 for the conduction of this big and the great project we know very well. And thus the team comprising dozens of scholars were now included or in this initiated the task of preparing a critical edition of Mahabharata. They taken on the task a critical study of the Mahabharata. What exactly did this involve? Initially, it meant collecting the first of all what the process of the study or analysis started. The first of all, for that they now started, they now meant collecting the Sanskrit manuscripts, the Mahabharata, which had been the written in manuscript by the human hands. Understand? So these manuscript which had been the written down, penned down in the Sanskrit text, written in variety of script, and those were written in the Sanskrit in the variety of script, different in different script written. Understand? Those were what collected from the different parts of the India, different parts of our country. Those Sanskrit scripts which now depicted the Mahabharata were collected. First, now the initiation was taken in this way, and the team worked out of a method. Now the team had a method they applied for the a scientific study, observation. Why the critical to reach why a critical term has been used to reach at a right point, to reach at the right the how can we reach a right point? By criticizing, by a critical approach. This is the best way to reach and find out the truth, by the criticizing. Understand? So the this is the method of comparing verses. First method they adopted, different verses were compared. Well, the text has been the collected, the text scripts collected, then after the compared each other. The first methods they, and from each manuscripts They compared each manuscripts with the others, and moreover, ultimately, they selected the verses that appeared common to the most versions. They selected those manuscripts which had a common version or resembled and had the common version were selected or appeared common to the most version and published these in a several volumes, and then after the common versions were now collected and it were the published in the many volumes, and now this was the running over into over 13 13,000 pages. It was the written 13,000 pages, and moreover the project took the how many years? 47 years. 13,000 47 years. The time consumption, the 47 years, and to complete two things became very much apparent of that there were several common elements in the Sanskrit version of the story. Now the wherever the story Mahabharata was written in the Sanskrit versions were the similar. A common versions they found that the several volumes say things the apparent where the several common elements were in the Sanskrit. Wherever the Mahabharata was written in Sanskrit, now the common elements was found. But the means the similarity of the events, similarity of the description, or the events mostly found is similar to the in the Sanskrit version. It was a common. First thing was that, or here, version the story. Uh, Now we see that here two common elements in virgin story evident in manuscripts found all over the subcontinent. It was the evident in manuscript, or it was the found in the entire subcontinent, right from the Kashmir and Nepal in the north. It was the similar, and from in the south we can see in the south Kerala or Tamil Nadu in the south, and also evident were enormous regional variation in the ways in which text had been transmitted over the century, or at the local level enormous variation have been found, enormous variation at the local level in the Mahabharata instances or incidents, enormous variations are were found because it was the because that the for the centuries it was from top to bottom it was being transmitted with a changing versions or the changing ways. So quite obvious that kids had the by the century it was the transmitted, and at local level that became different, that became the very different, and the moreover and ways in which had been the transmitted over a century. These variations were documented in, and what the variations found at the local level, these variations were now documented at the footnote, as a footnote, and at the uh, and documented footnotes or appendices to the main text. Footnotes and as well as the appendices to the main text. Whatever the differences were written down, not left out. Those differences were not left out. Only the common versions and common events were written. No, what the differ that was also quoted at the footnotes as a footnotes and at the appendices. It was quoted on. Understand? So now we see that taken together, and more than half of the 13,000 pages are devoted to this variation. 13,000 pages. The more than 50% we can say are the devoted to these variations. Variations, this has been the and more over variations. And here, in the sense that variations are reflective of the complex process, These variations are the very complex process. How they shaped early and through the dialects between the dominant tradition or resilient local ideas. Dominant traditions means that great traditions which had been accepted over all India levels, but the local level it differed. So this was the these variations where the now seems to be a dialogue between the local traditions and the great traditions. Understand? Resilient local ideas and practices. These dialogues are characterized by moments of conflict as well as consensus. Conflict and consensus. We find the local differences are just these are the moment where the conflict happened between the great traditions and the local tradition differences, and they and debated. These two sides debated, and ultimately these were the consensus. The consents, somewhere they have consented, somewhere they had the conflict. So these all were now were the characteristics of this Mahabharata. Our understanding of this process is derived primarily from text written in Sanskrit, and it the primary the yeah, priority was that the Sanskrit text written Sanskrit by the Brahmins and for the Brahmins. Sanskrit text were what? By the Brahman and for the Brahmins. Understand? These texts are written, and moreover, when issues of the social history were explored for the first time by historians in the 19th century, these issues were explored first time 20th century, they tended to take this text at a face values, and moreover believing that everything that was laid down in this text was actually practiced. Here is the question: everything which laid down in the text was actually practiced or not practiced? This is the subsequently scholars began studying other traditions from work to conform these and to bring the similarity and to analyze it, understand and compare it. The scholars started studying the Pali Pali works, Prakrit works, and Tamil works. Understand? And these studies indicated that the ideas contained in normative Sanskrit text were, on the whole, recognized as authoritative. Normative text ideas which had been taken or written down in the Sanskrit text were authoritative as a whole in the entire country. Authoritative. It was fine. Whether these authorities was practiced at a local level or not, this was the different thing. But as a whole, the authority of the Brahmin text written in Sanskrit, understand, this was the authoritative for the other text and the local text also. So here, text Sanskrit texts were on the whole recognized as authoritative. They were also questioned, and occasionally Sanskrit texts were also questioned, and occasionally even the Sanskrit texts were also rejected at some time. It is the important to keep this in mind as the examine how historians reconstruct the social history. So this depends on the historians how they depict and compose the and write the social history. Understand? This is the facts here. Students, moreover, kinship, marriage, and the many rules for the first time where Sanskrit term kul. What is the kul? Here is a term. Kul. Sanskrit text use the term kul to designate the families or jati for the larger network of the kinfolk, and the term vansa is used for the lineage. Lineage, it is the use. Here is the many rules of the uh, varied practices, kinship and the marriage. We are going to study about the marriage. I have given a lots of lecture on that. Lot of or the much I have deliver on that, not to the say again and again that things. But finding out about the family, we have family granted. However, have the notice that not family are the identical. They vary in terms of the numbers and the members. Now the family are they not similar or identical? Families either just like a social institution, a micro social institution family is the but this varies in respect of what? In respect of the in respect of its size, big family or small family. On that respect the families now differs, and their relationship with the other another as well as the kinds of the activity, the relation in family depend now rest on the relationship. This is the members of the members, their relationship with one another. What is the relationship of the each members of the family? That is the common thing, and as well as the kinds of the activities they share. What kind of the activities the all the members of the family share together? This is the how they now in the festivals, in economic activities, or in other work, how they share to their family, who contributes what kind of the work to the family. This is the and often people belong to same family, a family what the share food together. It is the common that not the dining table, on their floor they used to having their uh, used to have their food together, and other resources they share together, whatever the property or the assets they consume together, and they share and they live together under a one roof, and work and perform rituals together, whatever the rituals and the work they had, they performs together. Family, all the family members now together now performs the any rituals. Or usually part of larger networks of the people defined as relatives, and these families are what? Families had the larger network of the relatives, network of the relatives. They are interconnected by the family networks, relative networks. Use the more technical terms, kinfolk, or this network of the families or the relatives. Understand? This network, larger network, is now a technical term has been kinfolk. They are called as the kinfolk, blood relations. And while familial ties are often regarded as natural, or these familial ties are not artificial. Remember, these familial ties are natural, 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 not artificials. Remember, understand that these familiar ties are and the based on blood. So whatever the relation which are based on the blood relation, so these blood relations are what? These blood relations are the natural bloods. Blood relation is very very natural, not artificial. They are defined in many different ways. For instance, some societies regard cousins as being blood relations. In the some societies, cousins are treated as a blood relation, that is the fact also, and whereas others don't define this, so that this differ society to society. Understand? Cousins are in the Hindu society, they are supposed to be the relation of the blood. In Muslim society, that I suppose that is the different way. Understand? So cousins are the like the brother, and the comes under the blood relations. Or for early societies, historians can retrieve information about the elite family fairly easily. Okay, or however the far more difficult to reconstruct the familial relationship of the ordinary people. Familiar relationship was the different from the elites. Historians also investigate the analyze attitudes towards the family and the kinship. They have analyzed and studied the attitude towards the family and the kinship, or this is the important because they provide an insight into the people's thinking. This family relationship or kinship now give the insight into the people's thinking, or likely that some of these ideas would have been the shaped their actions. These idea would have been the shaped their action, just as actions may have led to the changes in the attitudes, or these actions would have been the change in their attitudes. Here the two term I am going to patrilineal. What is the means the tracing descends from father to of the son. Okay, father to son, grandson, and so on. Patrilineal means the asset, the property which comes down to the forthcoming generations from the father. So this is called as the, and from the son only, not the daughter. So this is called the patrilineal. Matrilineal, matrilineal in the term used mean descent is traced through the mother. Descent is traced through the mother. Okay, the mother dominant in this, but patrilineal, the father dominated in the patrilineal. Understand? So here there is a two kinds. There were the two kind of the social conditions in the patrilineal or the matrilineal. Here we are identify the points say kinship relations changed. Now can we identify points when the kinship relations changed? At one level, Mahabharata is the story about this. Kinship relation change. The here is the or at here Mahabharata story, it describes a feud over the land and power between the two groups and the cousins. You know very well. I have not to say much about the Mahabharata and its story, but you have seen that over the land and power between the two cousins, Kaurava and Pandava. You know very well that the feud over the power, power and the land, just cropped up, and between the two cousins who belong to a single ruling family. Both were the belonging to a single ruling family, and that the Kurus, a lineage dominating one of the Janpad, Kurus, one of the Janpad. Ultimately, the conflict ended in a what battle? Mahabharata, in which the Pandava emerged the victorious. Not to say the so detail, you have a lots of information about that I know, and now emerged the victorious. After that, patrilineal succession was proclaimed. What was the question? Question was the patrilineal succession. Mahabharata, why the Mahabharata happened? This was the main question. Patrilineal succession was established. The question of the Mahabharata was patrilineal. Bone of contention was a patrilineal position was to be the violated there, being violated. That's why the Mahabharata occurred. Vichitra, after the Vichitra Virya, understand? Pandu, just a Dhritarashtra, he was blind of, he was impaired and could not, although he was an elder, but he could not hold the position of the throne. He was deprived there. Then the Pandu now got, but the Pandu, unfortunately, he died. Then after again the Dhritarashtra ascended the throne. So on that basis, the throne should become from the Pandu to the Pandavas. From the point view of the Pandu had their rights, and from viewpoint of the Dhritarashtra, understand the Kaurav claimed over that. So this is the question of the succession, patrilineal, or this patrilineals for this establishing this patrilineal. Understand patrilineal succession for this establishing this. This was being violated. Mahabharata happened, and ultimately the Yudhishthir, after the defeat in the battlefield, the Kaurav killed. and the Yudhishthir again got his position. Yudhishthir got the, and Patalini was just established after the Mahabharata. Understand? So now, students, time is about to up. Understand? Or thank you very much. The rest class we shall